Hello grade 8 learner and welcome to another video lesson in Mathematics 8. In this video lesson, we will be discussing how to factor polynomials using the greatest common factors. Factoring using common monomial factoring is the most basic and the simplest method of factoring, and it should be easy enough for you to use. So prepare your module, pen, and paper as you start watching and learning from this video lesson. Happy learning! This lesson is based on the K-12 learning competency. The learner factors completely different types of polynomials. By the end of this lesson, you, the learner, should be able to recognize polynomials that can be factored using the greatest common factors. Follow the steps in factoring polynomials using the GCMF and apply these steps in factoring the given polynomials. Let's start our lesson with first defining what factoring is. When we factor polynomials, we are actually looking for two expressions that when you multiply them together, we form the given polynomial. Let's take, for example, the number 64. It can be rewritten as a product of two numbers, like 64 and 1, because 1 times 64 is equal to 64. What other numbers are there? We have 32 and 2, 16 and 4, and 8 to itself. When you multiply these pairs of numbers, they all have a product of 64, so they are what we call as factors. The first and simplest factoring technique that we can use is the common monomial factoring. For this method, we need to find the greatest common monomial factor of all the terms in the polynomial. If we solve this GCMF correctly, we will see that it is a factor of each term of the polynomial. The GCMF should also divide each term evenly. Here in our example, we solve that the GCMF of the trinomial 6a minus 3b plus 9c is the monomial 3. If our answer is correct, then we should be able to divide the trinomial exactly and without remainder into its simplest form, which is 2a minus b plus 3c. Let's take a look at an example. When we factor 8x squared plus 12x using the common monomial factoring, we are going to follow these steps. First, we find the GCF of the terms of the polynomial. Especially for the numerical coefficients, we use the prime factorization, which means we write down the factors of the numerical coefficients using prime numbers. For the variables, we expand the ones with exponents. After writing out the prime factorization, we then solve for the GCF. To get the GCF, we copy the factors that are common to all of the terms. In this case, we have 2 times 2 and x. So in multiplying them, we have our GCMF, which is for x. If you're not sure about using prime factorization, you can use another method to solve for the GCMF. First, look at the common factors of the numerical coefficients and choose the one with the highest value. In this case, the greatest common factor of 8 and 12 is 4. For the variable, You choose the common variable with the lower exponent. In this case, x has a lower exponent than x squared. You will still get 4x as the GCMF, which will serve as the first factor of the binomial. After solving for the GCMF, the next step is to divide each term using this GCMF in order to get the second factor. As we previously said, if we do this, we should be able to divide each term without any remainders. You may have to review how to divide monomials as well, but if you do the operation right, the resulting binomial is 2x plus 3. This will serve as the second factor of the binomial. From the steps we have followed in the process, we now have the factors 4x and 2x plus 3 for our binomial 8x squared plus 12x. Checking our answer is of course important to make sure that our answer is correct. We do this by multiplying the factors we have just solved for. If the product of 4x and the quantity 2x plus 3 is the same as 8x squared plus 12x, we can confidently say our answer is correct. Did you follow the steps? Good job if you did. You can always go back and replay the video lesson if there are some parts which are not clear to you. Now practice factoring using the common monomial factoring on this example. Factor 18a squared plus 12a raised to 4b minus 6a cubed b. Pause this video for a few minutes before proceeding to the answer. Done? Let's see. If your factors are 6a squared and the quantity 3 plus 2a squared b minus ab, then you are correct. Good job! Let's take a look at the solution. So first, you factor out the three terms in the polynomial using prime factorization. Comparing the factors, we see that 2, 3, a, and a are common to all three terms. So we choose them to form our first factor, the GCMF, which is 6a squared. Now that we know the GCMF, we now use it to divide all three terms to get our second factor, which is 3 plus 2a squared b minus ab. This means the factors for the trinomial we are given is 6a squared and the quantity 3 plus 2a squared b minus ab. To check our answer, we multiply the factors we have solved for. If we multiply them right, then our answer is the same as the given trinomial, which means that our factors are correct. Good job! Congratulations for finishing this video lesson on factoring using the common monomial factoring. You've unlocked a basic skill that is important in learning factoring. Good job! One down, four more to go. Let us leave you with a piece of wisdom by an anonymous person. Learning is a treasure that will follow its owner everywhere. Stay safe and healthy, and we'll see you in the next video lesson.